When you got it this good, you don't fight it.
Hi everyone, it's that time of year again, budget video.
Yay.
Yay. That's why we're drinking. Now, if you're familiar with our channel, you know that we do a video on our budget once a year, and we just kind of recap everything that we spent either just owning and maintaining the boat and also on the big trip that we take every year.
Yes.
And I think this is our 4th year maybe doing this, something like that.
4th, I guess, decent trip that we took.
Yeah, okay. Well, and if you go back and watch one of the previous ones, I guess it was the first one, we talked about what it costs to purchase this boat. And if you haven't seen any of our previous videos, this boat is a 1979 58 Motor Yacht, a Hatteras 58 Motor Yacht. And we are in Philadelphia. And this is what it costs us to keep the boat here in Philly.
Yep.
And do these trips. And on an old girl like this that sometimes needs a little repair and a little tender loving care, I don't know, I can just drop that section. I wasn't talking about you. Well, it's the same, it's true though. Okay, we're going to cut that part out of this video.
Or are we?
Okay, so let's get to the first slide. We'll get right to the numbers here. Well, I should pull up the slide, would be helpful.
Here we go.
Okay, well, the biggest expense for us maintaining this boat is the Marina. Now, I mentioned that we're in Philadelphia. Right now,
There's a plane.
There's a plane going by?
Helicopter. Because
Helicopter.
we're in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so there's a helicopter going by. All right, so we are here in Philadelphia, and we are at Pier 5 right now, where we typically spend our winters. In the spring, we move over to Penn's Landing Marina, where we just hang out for about a week and then do a 3.5-month trip and come back for a month or so. But we have to pay for the marina year-round just to make sure we have slips. And the total cost for our marina, the two of them together for the whole year, is about $9,500. And that's the biggest expense of us maintaining this boat. After that, we have repairs. Now, this was a good year for repairs because we only had, was it, $1,685 in repairs.
Yep.
And almost all of that was the ending of the windlass repair. Now, we did a video on repairing the windlass. In fact, I think we did 4 or 5 videos.
Yeah.
It started the previous year, but towards the beginning of 2021, I had a couple other things that went wrong. We had to get a new motor because UPS lost our motor that we sent in to be reconditioned.
And I didn't insure it.
Yes, and I forgot to tell her to insure it too, so it's both our faults.
I knew I should have, but we were just so trying to get it out so fast that I just was like, take it.
Yeah, and how often does that happen? Well, apparently they lost a $1,000 motor, so we had to go spend another $1,000 for a motor. And then also the new motors were wired a little bit differently than the ones from 1979, so we had to get a new relay box. And well, anyway, that's most of it, but that's not bad really, and that's really kind of something that happened the year before anyway. So we did well on repairs this year. Next on the list is cleaning and maintenance, and that is 0 for last year because we did basically everything ourselves. Whenever possible, we do our own repairs, and since we didn't really have a lot go wrong last year, I didn't need to hire a yard for anything.
It's an excellent workout.
Yeah. And, you know, we cleaned the boat ourselves. I mean, now we did get a lot of help from friends, especially friends who joined us on the trip, like our bosun Chris, or you know, Mark and Jerry and Gary. You know, a lot of people helped out with little things like that, but we didn't have
Albert.
Albert. No, Gary helped too. When we were in the marinas, so.
Oh yes, that's true.
But we didn't pay any of those people, so it's
because
0.
they're our boat friends, and boat friends do it that way.
Tips. It's $250. That's basically, we give a kind of an annual Christmas gift tip to the dockhand. And our boat doesn't go in and out, but so there's no chance to really tip them, but we do give them Christmas bonus. So that's what that is. And supplies. We did pretty well on supplies. I think one of the few things I had to buy, I bought some paint because we did some touch-up paint and, you know, some filters, things like that. It really was not much.
Yeah.
Maintenance amortization. Now, I've spoken about this in all the previous videos. About 4 or 5 years ago, we did a bunch of work on the boat, things that were preventative and that were going to last a long time. We replaced all the struts, did a bottom job, you know, things like that. And instead of just writing it all off for 1 year and having an unusually high amount of maintenance and repairs, we spread it out for the life of these particular items. You know, for instance, what are they called? I just said it.
Struts?
Struts, is that it? No, not the struts. The bearings, this part's getting cut out.
Ball bearings?
No, the things that have switch. Okay.
Wait, where are they at?
They go in the struts. The
things that go in the struts.
All right, never mind. Anyway, things that last 10 years or so, we kind of amortized it over 10 years. Bottom job, I think we amortized over 3 or 4. Things like that. So anyway, you see that in all our videos. You'll see this same amount every year. It'll change in a couple of years, or if we do something major on the boat, you'll see that being written off over years as well. So the total cost to keep this boat in Philadelphia and maintain it for us was $21,155, which is kind of typical, I guess. Typical.
If you're keeping it in, I mean, you could anchor out, but that's not safe. So I don't.
There's not a lot of ways, for us to save money. We did really good on repairs, really good on cleaning and maintenance, and there's no fuel on here because we stayed here once we got here, and I'll explain that in our next video where there's a whole lot of fuel. So I guess we'll go right to that slide. So in addition to keeping the boat here and maintaining it, we always take at least one big trip a year. And this past year we went to the Bahamas. We went down, specifically we went all the way down to Georgetown this time.
That was exciting.
Yeah, you turned it and then went back to Florida, headed to Key West for a while, and well, let's bring up that slide. So this was our trip. Biggest cost on the trip is fuel, $17,585, and that is much more than we spent the year before, and that's because we went a lot further this year. In total, we went about 3,500 miles altogether.
I just want to say, do you know right now in Bahamas it's $8 a gallon?
Yeah, well,
I'm
not thinking about that. I'm putting that out of my mind. I'm blocking it out until I get there. Hopefully, it'll drop. Okay, so the next biggest expense we had was slips, and we stayed at quite a few of them this year. We do anchor out a lot, quite often, especially when we're in the islands. We always anchored out when we're in the Exumas.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
But going back and forth, we did stay at a lot of slips, so that was, what, $13,137 for slips. Supplies, $1,935, and that was oil, more oil, Raycor filters, and more Raycor filters.
And we did shove our diver in that spot.
Yeah.
Because it would have been one maintenance, but it can work in supplies.
Yeah. We had the zincs changed, things like that. But that's it. That's not too bad really for a 3,500 mile trip. Mm-hmm. And tips, that was about $410. That's basically when we get to a marina, we tip the dock hands, or if we're getting fuel, and that added up to $400 some dollars. Repairs, we had no repair expenses this time.
Yay!
We did have some repairs if you watched our videos, but what happens is we were managed to repair them all at either no cost or next to no cost, all by ourselves. So that worked out well. So,
and with a little help from our friends.
Yeah, a little help from our friends. And so that gives us a total, here I have to put my glasses back on, $33,067, which was considerably more than our last trip. And that's mostly because the fuel was up and slips were up. Yeah, it was further.
Instead of just going to the Exumas, we took it to Georgetown, which is considered the Exumas, but
Yeah, we did. We went several hundred miles further, or at least 100 and some, and then turned around and went to Key West. So that the fuel, and so that added up a little bit. More slips, and the reason the slips were as high this year is because we got stuck with that hurricane, remember, in Key West.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so we usually spend 5 days in Key West, maybe a week, but we ended up spending, I think it was just 2 weeks or slightly over when we dodged that hurricane. So that, and it's not cheap to stay at a marina in Key West, so that probably added $1,500 right there.
At the Bite.
Yeah, the Bite, which is a great marina, and it's the least expensive one there, and it's perfectly located. So
wait, don't say
go
that.
there.
We'll never get it.
Yeah, don't go there. But yeah, so that's the main reason the trip was higher. And since I know somebody is going to ask what I'm drinking, it's a bourbon on the rocks, Barrel Armida, which is very good, by the way. My cousin Gary is sort of a connoisseur of bourbons, and he's always bringing me good stuff. So. try it. Okay, so
Not sponsored at all.
no, or
But
yeah, feel free.
free.
Yes, send Barrel Armida, the most excellent bourbon. Yeah. So anyway, that was the cost of our trip. So let me just put it all together. And our
Wait.
What?
Someone might ask me what I'm drinking.
Oh, what are you drinking?
Red wine.
No. What is it? It's
It's actually pretty good. It's from the Chairman's Select section.
from the discount section. Actually, it's not. It's rated 90. It can't be that
Yeah,
bad.
it's well, I don't have my glasses.
Kilogram? I don't know. It's an old vine Zinfandel. But you don't usually drink many Zinfandels, but
No, I figured I'd go for it because
well, anyway,
it's good.
there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, the total yearly expense slide, and here it is. You can read it yourself, read it and weep, or you can read it.
No, we'll weep.
So yeah, the expenses were higher. The previous year we spent about 45,000, 46. We're at 54,000 this year, and that's mainly because the fuel costs were up, slip costs were up, which we just discussed. Insurance, our insurance went up from what was it, 5,100 to 7,200, 7,280.
And I know a lot of these guys have the same problem.
Yeah.
I've been reading.
So our insurance went up a couple of $1,000,
Insane,
but
yeah.
check this out. I just got my new insurance from this year, and it went back down to like 5,200. So I have no
Yeah.
idea. They raised me 2,000, they dropped me 2,000.
Yeah.
Tips, we talked about that. That was pretty much same. Supplies, we're okay there. So yeah, it was
And once again, supplies does not include food.
No, yeah, you're right. We're not including anything that we would do normally. So this does not include restaurants. Does not include food, going out to eat.
Alcohol.
Paper towels, things like that. These are just things that we would do if we were home. So we're not including any of that. So total budget, total expenses, $54,222, and hopefully we can shave something off of that this year. But
I don't know, because this year's going to be interesting.
we're hoping that we may be able to get down to Puerto Rico or even St. Thomas this year. We're kind of playing it by ear. We're not sure. We hear there's a tough availability getting slips down there, and we're looking. We want a slip that we can get hauled out if there's a hurricane. Because if we can get there, we'd love to leave the boat there.
Yes, because that's our game plan, is to leave it. We are not coming back to Philly.
Yeah. One way or another, we're not coming back. Not that we don't love it here. It's just that we want to get further, and if we can keep the boat in Puerto Rico or St. Thomas, well, now good. Next year we'll do the Virgin Islands, and we'll do all that stuff. So.
Exactly. The only way to do that is to cut off the beginning of this trip and the mileage on that, and the end, because we're coming back up. That's right.
So.
And then head wherever.
Mm.
So we're looking to base ourselves more south.
Yeah, and if we can't do Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands or St. Thomas. Which I guess that actually is the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
We are going to just bring her back to Florida and find a place in Florida. So if you guys know of a good slip, especially in those two islands or even in Florida, if you can let us know. We are looking for a place to keep her. And
This old boat.
This old boat. Okay, so I guess that's it. I guess as usual, we're just trying to let people get a little glimpse into what it may cost to own a boat like this. And as you can see, it's really not all that expensive if you're staying put. What were you, $21,000 to have a boat in a nice city and a nice marina and take care of her. But if you're going to do a big long trip like us, that's going to add another, $25,000, $30,000 on it. Yep. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you have any comments, leave a comment. In the meantime, we are prepping for our trip. We're going to be leaving in about 8 days. We're heading out of here.
So not ready. I'm not ready.
We've got a million things to do. We're little by little we're getting it done, and we've got about 8 more days to do it. And hopefully you're going to see us on the water.
I did want to say Cleo's not coming with us this year because we're going to do the 4 countries, and it's just a lot of hassle for her to go see a vet and then to check in and then see a vet when we leave, because the other country wants the vet, and it's just crazy town. And one of them, Dominican Republic, we were only planning to spend overnight, so.
Yeah, it's become very burdensome to bring a pet along. And so you won't be hearing that chirping sound behind us in future videos. So we're going to feel really sad if we don't end up going to those various countries and leave the bird behind, because we've been able to take her on the previous trips. As you can see, we took her
and
into
it's only one country, so that was not a big deal.
Yeah, when we're just getting her into the Bahamas, that's one thing, but when we're trying to get her into the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos and the Dominican Republic and then Puerto Rico and then St. Thomas again, it's just too much of a hassle. It's hard enough to get us in.
It would be hard on her too.
Yeah, so well, she's going to be staying with family, so she'll be happy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, that's it. If you have any comments, you have any suggestions, you know some good marinas, let us know. And until then, we'll see you on the water.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. So today we are going to make some cakes with the cookies. Cookies, ha ha ha, with a lot of love. So you have to whisk the flour to make it soft and care. Lots of love, and you need some eggs and some sugar, because sweet's what you need. And you whisk this up, and then you come up with these most delicious cookies. They are fantastic. There's a lot of love and a lot of care.